Hello guys, and welcome back to another SD Reacts. It's been about a week, I'd say. It's definitely not the longest I've left it, but every time I tend to get back into this, I always get a bloody sore throat. I can feel it coming now. It's ridiculous. So sorry if I keep coughing or if I sound a bit husky. But today, video, as requested, I'm going to do... There's so much to cover on this topic, but I guess finding something to talk about under the topic is, you know, I'll just do different ones all the time. If you did indeed want more, so the request was Area 51, a video on Area 51. So I was sitting here thinking, what should we talk about? What shall I do a video on? What evidence is there? I mean, there's a lot of evidence. I mean, we could, you know, there's so many different things. One of the things that I was going to talk about is the storming, you know, back in whenever, 2021 or 2020 or whenever it is on social media, that one person said, let's storm Area 51. I was going to talk about that, but then I thought, no, we'll go a little bit deeper, and we'll talk about a man called Bob Lazar. I don't know if you've heard of this man. I have. He's a physicist who claims he was hired by the military to work at Area 51 to reverse engineer extraterrestrial crafts. So all the technology we have today, or some of it that they let go out, phones, microchips, lasers, blah 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 blah, he was part of a team that sort of, you know, reverse engineered, took it from their technology and made it so we could use it. And he was stationed where the crafts, obviously this is all coming from him, where the crafts were actually kept, and it's a compound called S4. It's roughly 3 kilometers south of the main Area 51 base, but it's still in that perimeter. So I thought we'd watch this quick video. It's taken from that Gaia. I think it's a clip from Gaia, that conspiracy theorist streaming platform. And we'll just see what it's like, and then we can have a chat after it. But any questions, pop in the comments below. Alright, we'll crack on with the video.
Bob Lazar is someone who became famous back in 1989 as a result of a very specific claim that he made. And that claim is that he worked at a place just south of Area 51. He called it S4. He was interviewed by Las Vegas journalist George Knapp in a series of very detailed interviews.
We put him on the air, blacked out his face, and he told this incredible story.
Exactly what's going on up there?
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs that are out there of extraterrestrial origin.
He said it's a secret that needed to be told to the world, that his life was in danger, and that he was coming forward and wanted to tell it. I could feel my jaw dropping. Is this real? We left there thinking, wow, if this is real, this is a really big story. So we decided, well, let's take the time and get this right.
Over the next 8 months, Knapp conducted a thorough investigation of Lazar's sensational claims. According to Lazar, before he worked at S4, he was a physicist at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, the facility that developed the atomic bomb.
Central question for me was,
Taking it back a little bit, just where he basically, the guy just said where he used to work when he was a physicist, where the atomic bomb was created, the same laboratory or university or whatever it is. If you watch the full documentary on this man, he's got so much evidence and proof. Like, it's a fact that he worked there, but there is no record of him on their system. So it's either been deleted by them or it's been deleted by the government. But he's got pictures of him, like you know, in school you have the pictures with all your classmates. He's got loads of them, like outside the building, inside the building. He's got dates and things in his diary. He's got 3 or 4 other workmates and colleagues who corroborate him working there. But now, if you was to go there and say, "Oh, can you pull up the file on Bob Lazar?" They'd go, "No one by that name's ever worked here." It's very, very weird. And he did work there 100%, which makes his claims all the more credible. Because if it's a fact, and he can prove that it's fact, that he worked in this place, and now there's no record of him, why? That's what you got to ask yourself.
The central question for me was, did he work at Los Alamos? Because if he did, it would at least be plausible that if he worked there in a technical or scientific position, that he could also be hired at a place like S4. So that's where we focused our attention. I started calling Los Alamos at first. Nope, we have no record of a guy named Bob Lazar. I got the phone book from the Los Alamos lab. There's his name in the phone book. I called him back and said, "Hey, he's in the phone book." They finally, sort of exasperatingly, told me, "Yeah, we've got a record of him being here." We found Bob Lazar to be credible about his background, his scientific training, where he had worked.
For more than 2 decades, Bob Lazar's critics claimed there was no evidence of any secret military base in the Nevada desert. But then, in 2013, a Freedom of Information Act request forced the CIA to finally acknowledge that Area 51 is real.
The story of Area 51, it exploded around the world. The reason you know about Area 51 is because Bob Lazar and George Knapp on the news 1989 made it a household name. That's the reason. All of that came from Bob Lazar.
To many researchers, the government's acknowledgement of Area 51 established Lazar as more than a UFO pioneer. His inside access made him a whistleblower.
My name's Bob Lazar. I'm known for working at a classified base known as S4 out in the Nevada desert near Area 51. And there, we reverse engineered alien spacecraft.
But could Lazar's...
And just him, any interview he does, I'm a big fan of psychology. And there's always telltale signs if someone's bullshitting, if they're lying. They'll if you look to the right, you're accessing... No, sorry, if you look to the left, you're accessing the right side of your brain, indicating the creative part of your brain. So you're lying, basically. You look the other way, you're accessing the logical side of your brain, which means you're telling the truth. If you try to lie, it's using your imagination, and you've got to quickly think on your feet. So your eyes will automatically direct in that way to access the right cortex of your brain, which is associated with, imagination and that sort of thing, and creativity. So very, very weird. And there's nothing. It's just literally just fine. You'd think there'd be something, like a chin scratch, an eye twitch, a subtle look, because you usually can't control it unless it's on his mind all the time, which is doubtful.
Sensational claims be true. Former Air Force pilot Captain David Fruhoff worked at Area 51 from 1979 until 1985. And while he was never shown any alien technology, he attests that Bob Lazar's account of the facility is entirely accurate.
When I was there, we knew about S4, but we didn't know what they did. And I know people that had worked for me that after I left there, they had seen Bob Lazar there. And they admitted that to me recently. Bob Lazar's statements and all the things he had said have gelled now to the point where I think he's very credible.
And there we have it. So what do you think? It's very... If you're interested in this guy, I mean, you'll be wowed at all the evidence and what he pulls out. I think there's a documentary. I think it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime, and I think it's just called Lazar, and it's like an hour and a half long documentary of him and everything that went on, all his evidence, how he's, you know, the actual footage of like government officials in blacked out SUVs following him around. If he's going to like a public speaking event or something like that. It's very, very weird. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more. Very interesting topic, this one. If not, we'll do something else. I mean, we can always do, you know, I don't know. Just let me know. Let me know. There's such a huge array of topics that fall under Area 51. Yeah, not a bad one to get into, I think. I haven't done any research on this in years. It's all up there, you see, so I don't need to. Anything that is being spoken now, I already know, but it's for you. So, but yeah, right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you want. If you want another, it's like a part 2 on Bob Lazar, and I'll try and find some deeper footage, and then we can all watch it together and all become enlightened, and then go and raid Area 51. Take care, and always do what you love the most. See you later.